Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving deep into the travel wisdom of John and Bev, the retirement
Oh,
traveler.
yeah, those two, they've backpacked through, over 100 countries? Quite the experience there.
Exactly. And they've boiled down a lot of that learning into a YouTube video, Packing for World Travel Tips and Tricks, Checking Bags versus Carry-On Only.
Right, and it's packed with these hard-earned insights.
So our mission today is basically to pull out their top 10 packing rules,
Yeah.
see how they can help our travels, whether it's just a weekend trip or something much longer.
They've definitely made the mistake so we don't have to, which is always helpful.
Totally. What really struck me was their core idea.
About being well-traveled, but not a well-traveled pack mule. I loved that phrase.
Yes, it's not just about going places, it's about doing it smartly without being overloaded, that kind of insightful simplicity we like.
Absolutely. So we're digging into their 10 rules, all gleaned from years of full-time travel, right?
Yep, constantly refining things. Okay, let's jump in. Rule number 1, only your feet touch the ground.
The anti-roller bag manifesto, basically.
Pretty much. They make a strong case against wheels for frequent travelers.
Well, yeah. They talk about broken escalators, subway steps, cobblestones, uneven sidewalks, all those things that make wheels a pain.
Right. The convenience factor just disappears in those situations.
So enter the backpack. They stress the nimbleness, how much easier it makes public transport like subways and buses.
Which is a big cost saver, too, often.
Definitely. And comfort is key. They mentioned getting it fitted properly so the weight's on your hips, not killing your shoulders.
That makes a huge difference on long travel days.
And the type of backpack matters. They insist on a clamshell design.
Oh yeah, opens like a suitcase. Not those top-loading hiking ones they used to hate.
Exactly. Trying to find one sock at the bottom of a top loader. Forget it. Clamshell means easy access.
Makes sense. They mentioned Osprey as a brand they like, but they see lots out there.
Yeah, Osprey comes up a few times. Okay, so that leads into rule 2, one and done.
Right. This one shows how they've evolved. They didn't always travel this way.
No, they started with 2 packs, a big one for clothes
Yep.
and like a smaller detachable one for the laptop electronics.
That sounds logical separating things. They mentioned the Osprey Fairview and Farpoint 55, like a 40-liter plus a 15-liter?
Yeah, that kind of setup. But they found, practical problems.
Like what?
Well, they often ended up just carrying the smaller tech pack by hand anyway.
Defeating the purpose.
Oh, right. And when it was attached, the heavy tech stuff made the whole thing sag weirdly. Not comfortable.
Okay, so what's the one-and-done solution now?
They switched to a single, larger pack, the Osprey Sojourn Porter 65L.
65 liters. Is the goal to pack more now?
No, that's the key. They're not trying to increase weight. It's about consolidation, getting everything into one unit, freeing up their hands.
Okay, got it. For cameras, tickets, navigating crowds.
Exactly. But what about a day pack then? For hiking or exploring?
Good question. They use something called a Codepoxy DAC24.
Codepoxy. What's special about it?
It's unstructured, foldable. They pack it flat inside the big Osprey for flights.
Oh, clever. So it doesn't count as an extra bag then, and they can just unfold it when they arrive.
Yep. Use it for day trips. It's all about that adaptability.
So the bigger 65L bag, they admit it could tempt you to overpack?
Right, but they resist. They just like having everything in one place, and maybe zipping it up is a bit easier without cramming.
Makes sense. And they said the Sojourn Porter has good internal pockets too. Help them ditch some packing cubes.
Yeah, for like underwear and socks, streamlining even more.
It sounds like this pack combines the best bits of others they've used. Laptop sleeve in the right place.
Against the back, yeah, better for weight. And places for a sweater, phones, even a bottom bit for dirty clothes or shoes.
That dirty clothes section is always useful. Interesting there's no specific women's version, but Bev uses the men's fine.
Seems versatile. Okay, rule number 3. This feels core to their philosophy, pound for pound.
This is all about packing light, like really light.
They're pretty tough on the what-ifs.
Totally. That I might need this if, or it would be nice to have stuff, just leave it home.
They mentioned a cut and add idea, inspired by some entrepreneur.
Yeah, like cut everything down first, then only add back what's truly necessary. Start with maybe 3 pairs of shorts, not 7.
And only buy more if you genuinely need it on the road.
Exactly. Resist packing for every single possibility.
And they bring up roller bags again here.
Right, saying they can trick you into packing more just because the space is there.
Which then becomes a problem when you hit those stairs or, the inevitable broken escalator.
Their main point is travel is about the experience, right? Not the fashion show.
Well said. Okay, that brings us to rule 4. Checkmate.
Ah, the great carry-on versus checked bag debate. And they've actually shifted on this.
Yeah, that was surprising. They used to be firmly in the carry-on only camp.
Right, keeping everything with them, avoiding lost luggage anxiety.
They ran into issues, especially at foreign airports.
Yeah, they got tired of security confiscating things. Stuff they thought was allowed, like liquids or whatever the rule of the day was.
Oh, that is frustrating, having to replace carefully chosen items constantly.
Exactly. So the frustration basically pushed them towards checking their bags more often now, particularly flying internationally.
Have they lost any bags since switching?
Apparently not yet. They knocked on wood in the video.
Huh, good for them. But they use tech to ease the worry, right?
Yep. Apple AirTags to track the location. They mentioned that Apple update too, letting you share the tracking with airlines.
Oh, that's handy. Extra layer of info.
And they also have this TSID luggage tag.
TSID? What's that?
It's like a digital ID tag. You register it online. If someone finds your lost bag, they can scan it and get your contact info securely.
Huh. Like a microchip for your luggage?
Kinda, yeah. They haven't needed it yet, but it's another backup. Peace of mind.
Makes sense. Okay, rule 5 sounds fun. Don't swim in the deep end.
Yeah, this is all about packing cubes. They are big believers.
To stop everything from just, well, swimming around disorganized in the bag.
Precisely. They hate that chaos you find when you unpack after a flight. You know the feeling.
Oh, absolutely. They even had that quote.
Chaos is found in greatest abundance wherever order is sought. It always defeats order because it's better organized.
That's brilliant. And so true for messy bags, so packing cubes are the answer.
For them, yes, they maintain calm and order. Makes living out of a bag much easier.
What kind do they use?
They like trip packing cubes, say they're light and durable, but they admit other brands are fine too.
Do they use the compression feature? Some cubes have that extra zipper.
They mention the tripped ones do, but they actually don't use it because they're already careful not to overpack. For them, it's purely about the organization inside.
Okay, so organization is key, which leads us nicely into what goes in those cubes. Rule 6, dress for success.
Right, but not success in the boardroom sense.
No, definitely not. They actually argue against trying to dress like a local.
Yeah, they call it crazy talk. Kind of unrealistic, maybe even a bit insulting, they suggest. We're tourists, and that's okay.
So what should you wear?
Comfort and function first, especially for sightseeing, museums, historical places, practical stuff.
But not sloppy, right?
Yeah.
Still respecting local norms if needed.
Oh, for sure. But they also point out that, honestly, a lot of the world dresses pretty similarly these days. Leggings, jeans, T-shirts. You see them everywhere.
So don't overthink the wardrobe too much.
Exactly. And their big strategy is layering.
The insulation mindset, as they called it.
Yeah. Instead of bulky sweaters or coats, they use layers. A thermal base, a mid-layer like fleece, and then a rain or windproof outer shell.
Much more adaptable to changing weather without taking up loads of space.
And the type of fabric matters. They stress high-quality performance fabrics.
Fast drying, moisture wicking. Avoid cotton, basically.
Pretty much. Cotton is heavy and takes forever to dry. They say buy quality stuff that lasts, don't just grab cheap sale items.
Good advice. Okay, Rule 7 tackles a modern travel challenge. Tech solutions.
And they have a lot of tech. 2 MacBooks, cameras, phones, batteries, the whole shebang.
So managing the cords and plugs is a big deal. What's their setup?
It's pretty streamlined, actually. They use one power strip, just a small one with 2 plugs,
Sure.
then 2 charging bricks, but the kind that can charge multiple devices each. So between the 2, they can charge 4 things.
Okay. And just one universal power adapter for the wall.
Yep. Since they travel together, they only need 1 set of cords for the bricks and the adapter.
That power strip sounds useful for hotels with, like, one outlet.
Exactly. And they said it helps stop chargers falling out of loose wall sockets. Plus, you're less likely to leave a charger behind if everything's plugged into the strip.
Smart. Any other tech tips?
Yeah, a good pre-trip one. Plug everything in before you leave to make sure you have all the cords you need.
Good call. We've all forgotten a crucial cable before.
And they ditch the bulky charging blocks that come with phones and watches. Just take the cords themselves. Saves weight and space.
Makes sense. Rule number 8. Go old school. What's this about?
The humble fanny pack. Though they prefer to call it a hip pack now.
Huh. Bringing it back. Is it really essential?
For them, absolutely. They wear it on the front.
Oh, the front.
Easy access. Phones, power bank, room key, camera. It's all right there. Secure.
Okay, I can see that being handy. They upgraded theirs.
Yeah, they use a code Poxy one now. Bigger, more pockets than their old Patagonia one, apparently.
And they divide things up, like passports versus tickets.
Uh-huh. John carries passports, Bev handles tickets, spreads the important stuff.
What about, the look? Fanny packs get a bad rap sometimes.
They basically say, get over it. The practicality and security trump any style concerns for them. It just works.
Fair enough. Okay, rule 9. Is there a doctor in the house? This must be about meds.
Yep. Managing medications on the road. And their key item is surprisingly simple.
What is it?
Ziploc bags, various sizes.
Really? How do they use them?
They just combine all their pills prescription over the counter into labeled Ziploc bags.
Wait, they take them out of the original bottles?
Seems so. They carry a doctor's list, but mostly rely on just recognizing the pills.
Has that caused any issues at security?
They said, nope, never been questioned about it so far.
Interesting. But they did have a warning, right?
Oh, yeah, a big one. About drug dogs
Right.
and anything that could be considered illegal elsewhere, even with a prescription, basically.
All right.
Don't risk it with anything questionable.
Right. Stick to standard, verifiable meds.
They also mentioned getting prescriptions filled abroad can be way cheaper. John's blood thinner, the Eliquis, was much less expensive in India.
Wow, that's a huge saving potentially. Good tip. Any downsides?
Finding exact U.S. equivalents for over-the-counter stuff can be tricky, like specific cold meds, NyQuil, or Mucinex.
Ah, okay. Or even Benadryl for allergies. Sometimes you have to say it's for sleep.
Yeah, they mentioned that. So maybe pack small amounts of specific OTC things you rely on.
Good to know. All right, last rule, number 10. Beauty is not skin deep. Toiletries.
Exactly. And the message here is pretty reassuring. Don't stress too much about packing loads of cosmetics or toiletries,
Why is that?
because they found high-quality stuff, including major American brands, is available pretty much everywhere in drugstores.
So the advice is pack small, replenish as you go.
Yep, especially heavy things like big shampoo and conditioner bottles. Hotels have them, or you can easily buy them. It's not worth lugging them around.
Makes sense. Did they mention their toiletry bag?
They did, another Code Poxy one. They liked the space and quality. And they mentioned their website has links to a lot of this gear if people are interested.
Right, good resource.
Yes.
Okay, so let's try and quickly recap the big takeaways from John and Bev's 10 rules.
Okay. Prioritize comfort and practicality. Pack light, really light ditch the what-ifs.
Be organized, packing cubes are your friend. Layer your clothes instead of packing bulky items.
Solve your tech charging efficiently. Maybe check your bag, especially internationally, to avoid confiscation hassles, but use trackers.
Use that hip pack. Be smart about meds. Ziplocs work for them, but be cautious and check local rules.
And don't overpack toiletries by as you go. Basically, travel smarter, not heavier.
Absolutely. These are insights straight from the source, years of trial and error on the road. Hopefully this deep dive gives everyone listening a shortcut to, well, less burdensome and more enjoyable trips.
Yeah, getting that valuable knowledge without having to learn it the hard way.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Reflecting on all this, which of John and Bev's rules really hits home for you?
Yeah, based on your own travels, past or future. What's like one small packing change you could make next time that might have the biggest impact?
Maybe just looking at what you packed last time and didn't use, that could be a really good starting point for traveling lighter next time.